Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and Horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for all you guys born in the year of the pig. I apologise for being a day late, but I think this is how it's going to be now for the rest of the summer. I'm just going to have to get it done as and when. I know you don't mind, I'm sure it's fine. But you will always be after the dog and you'll always be before the rat. So at least that gives you a bit of an idea. But if you hit that subscribe button, you're not going to miss a video. So make sure you get that subscribe button clicked on, and we're going to see today what your forecast is. Let's just move them about a bit, and we'll start about there. We'll take that one from the bottom. We're going to take that one from the middle. We're going to take that one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we've got 3 whites. That is a good start, isn't it? When we see all those positives there. But as I always say, white isn't always all right. It all depends on the compatibility on the cards when we flip them over. But can't argue, seeing 3 whites always is a nice little surprise or a nice little treat. We've got that rooster card first off. Now the rooster is a very critical card. It's a very kind of judgy card. And I think if you're being honest with yourself, you can be a little bit judgy of things. You can be a little bit critical at the moment of things, but it's not necessarily in a bad thing, a bad way, or necessarily in a, with bad intentions. That rooster is in the white, it's in the positive. Roosters and boars are quite compatible, they get along, and you as a pig are an honest person. And I think right now, being judgy or being critical isn't going to work best in your, to your defense or in your advantage or benefit you. Because sometimes you got to pick your battles. Sometimes you need to step back and think, is it really worth it? Is it worth the chaos, the conflict, the aggravation? Is it worth it? And that's the question you've got to ask yourself right now. It may be better just to take a step back. Maybe it's best not to take things too seriously. And that's good, because I think right now, you don't want to be miserable. You don't want to be brought down. It would appear that you are in a pretty good place at this moment, and you want to keep hold of that for as long as you can. I think as we move forward as well, things need to be reflected on. That rooster is part of that thinking triangle. It's part of the thinkers. It's a mind card. So we've got to think of things and put some things in place where we're not neglecting our priorities. Maybe make a list. It's so easy to get distracted, and if you've got other things going on, potentially you're going to miss some things out. I think right now as well, there's decisions to be made, and there's a lot of thinking based around the decisions that you have to make. Because you've got to think about these things. You don't want to make the wrong, you don't want to make the wrong choice and make a mistake. You're guarding yourself a little bit, but that's okay, because if you are able to have fun with this, if you're able to be happy with this, if you're able to just move on with this in a good, positive way, then it's no harm, no foul. Or at least as far as you're concerned anyway. Or even better, look, we've got a lovely tiger card jumping in there, and that tiger is your soulmate card. So this path is definitely the path you're supposed to be on. This is a soul connection. Tiger and the pig, they go together incredibly well, and they get along really, really well. They get on so well, in fact, that when a boar and a tiger meet, they potentially become inseparable. Even though they're quite different people. I think right now, though, you're feeling enthusiastic. I'm feeling that you may feel outgoing, generous, secure. You're feeling, as if things are going really well. This could be an emotional thing, like an attachment to someone or something or some place. It's an emotional sort of high that you're on. You're chasing an emotional high. You're feeling passion. You're feeling good. And that's potentially what you've got on your mind right now. That's why you're trying to make sense of things. This is why you're thinking things through. This is why you're reflecting. This is why potentially you've got to be. You're trying not to be critical. You're trying not to be judgy, because you don't want to ruin things. You don't want to say or assume that things are bad when potentially they're not. You don't want to make an issue where there isn't one, or make a mountain out of a molehill. I think right now, in love, in business, in just the general sense, you're feeling good, you're moving forward, there's things to look forward to. And you're gonna get support through this as well. So you're gonna have people around you that are definitely supportive. I think right now though, it's going to be so hard for you not to be impulsive or sort of self-indulgent, because you're feeling this emotional high. You're feeling good. You may overspend. You may overindulge. You may sort of go on a bit of a bender. But just remember, what goes up must come down, and there's still decisions to be made. There's still choices to be made. There's still things that you need to consider. There's still that reflection period. Despite the fact that we're moving into this really good place and we're feeling quite good about ourselves, there's still things to think about. But I think really, as you think about it and you've kind of come to your own conclusions or made a choice or a decision, you are going to feel good about that. You're not going to regret that. You're going to feel content. You're going to feel content with that. You're going to feel as if things are starting to move forward and you are in a good place. We've got that ox there, and the ox and the boar, they only have a moderate degree of compatibility. Still not a bad card. Still not a bad card. I just think as well we need to slow it down a little bit. We need to slow down, my lovely piggy friends. The last thing we need you to do is to crash or to burn out or to, like I say, go self-indulgent and sort of do a U-turn and start going backwards on yourself, because you've come so far right now. So we need to slow it down. We've got two thinker cards there. Two thinker cards. The rooster and the ox. They're part of that thinker affinity triangle. If you want to know more about that, then do hit the subscribe button, because we will be doing videos on that in the future after summer potentially. But what's interesting here is that out of all the thinker cards, you got the rooster and you got the ox. You have not got the snake, which is your conflict. So we're not looking at any conflicts here. This thinking, this thing that's on your mind, this thing that you're trying to decide, or the choices you're trying to make, it's not necessarily about bad things or about things that are going to go wrong. It could be something that is really good for you, something that is like really quite, I suppose in some ways, something that you've been wishing for or wanting for a long time. It could be something that you've actually considered, is there a possibility to this? And now you're encountering it. Now it's coming into this place. Now it's coming into a space of, well, I want to say rewarding. I want to say manifesting a more positive approach to things, and that's going to create this positive space for you. But you got to slow down, because otherwise you're going to run straight through it, just like a bull in a china shop. You're going to smash the place up. It's not black, it's not negative, so you got no real worries. You just might want to consider, can we get away with not? Can we get away with not being self-indulgent? Can we try and be a little bit conservative? And maybe that's where the judgy side is coming into things. Maybe that rooster card is potentially something that is aimed at you. Sorry, this is quite a hard one today, because I'm trying to get the feel of this, but I just feel like you're not in a bad place, but you're still quite reserved. You're reluctant. Potentially because you've got this emotional high that you're not entirely sure if it's real, or if it's going to last, or if it is temporary. When is it going to leave? Potentially it won't. Potentially it will be around for a while, and you could maybe be reluctant for no reason whatsoever. I just think that you're thinking about things, and this is a good thing, but slowing it down is a better thing, especially if it is an emotional thing or sort of in that area, because who's going to end up with a broken heart, my lovely piggy friend? Of course, it will be you. So let's slow down and make sure we're doing that thinking, shall we? We'll see how we get on next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the pig. I will be back next with a rat reading, maybe tomorrow, maybe next day, could be whenever. Hit the subscribe button if you want to watch, if you want to find out, and I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you next week, guys. Love and peace.